Hey, what's up, everybody? It's BDF44 coming at you with another video. A lot of talk about Ben Simmons. Kind of want to talk about his prospects as it pertains to the Golden State Warriors, since that is one of the rumored teams that would be interested in doing a deal. Um, I just ran it through the trade tracker, tried to see what would work with the Warriors, and they have a plethora of options, to be honest with you. But the most simple, the most simplistic one is a Andrew Wiggins swap. Andrew Wiggins for Ben Simmons swap actually works with the numbers. If I'm the Golden State Warriors, I don't hesitate for that one. I don't even hesitate. I don't hesitate. I worry about Draymond Green and his fit later. The only reason why I was hesitant in my mind in regards to doing that deal was because I thought they would have to give up a plethora of other players. And while if you don't put Wiggins in the deal, you start talking about a combination of like Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga, um, Kevin Looney, and that kind of thing. That you have to get like a bunch of those guys on the back of the bench and toss them at Philly to try to make the numbers match. It's a lot of players. You should not do that. It's basically everybody you've drafted over the last year and a half, 2 years. Jordan Poole, all those guys would have to go in the deal. Or you try Klay Thompson, which is ill-advised, and plus he's hurt right now, so I'm not sure Philly would even be willing to do that. But I'll tell you right now, trading Klay Thompson for Ben Simmons is a fireable offense. Hurt or not, that's a fireable offense. I'm firing the guy that does that. So that's not happening. Draymond Green's contract is interesting because he's half of Ben Simmons basically. So you got to add some of those other guys to that list, even if you add in Draymond to the situation. That's the part that kind of surprised me. There won't be a Ben Simmons Draymond trade. It will be Draymond and again Moses Moody, Kuminga, Looney. Like that's a bad trade for Golden State. That's an absolutely terrible trade for Golden State. But Andrew Wiggins matches, and he's coming off a good year. So if I'm Golden State, given the circumstances, I'm not offering anything else. You can take Wiggins, and you can give me Maxey, and you can give me a pick, and I'm doing it that way because I'm not. Listen, I'm not incentivized to take back Ben Simmons' contract if I'm the Golden State Warriors. Nothing good about that for me. I don't need him particularly. So you got to sweeten the pot, just like I've been saying in regards to every other deal. I've been listening to other people, talk about the packages that are offered for Ben Simmons, and even after the information that we have, they're still talking about, well, the Philadelphia 76ers are asking for a lot. I don't think they can get that, but they can get half of that. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Hell no. Listen, and I haven't heard nobody speak like this, but I'm gonna tell you, and I have been telling you. If you watch some of my old videos, this is the same thing I've been singing for the last 24 hours. Unless I'm giving up something that I don't necessarily want, and Philly understands that, the value of the player I'm giving up, like let's say it's John Wall, for example. If I'm giving up John Wall, I'm not going to be in a position leverage-wise to ask for anything from Philly because they want Ben Simmons as much as I want John Wall, maybe even less. Because John Wall's contract is really bad, his injury issues, et cetera, et cetera. You got Kevin Porter and all these other young players. It would be best to try to bring in somebody who can help you defend, somebody who can do other things than just kind of doubling down on the same thing that Porter does, just a little older. So John Wall is one of the worst contracts in the league, and Houston would be wise to try to get rid of it. Ben Simmons is a bad contract as well, but it's a better one because it fits their timeline. It provides something they don't have, another big body in their lineup, someone that can help facilitate the basketball, someone who can help them with rebounding, things like that. They get better defensively, obviously. They get better with a lot of stuff. And another person that can help their fast break when they have all those hyper-athletic guys that they already have. Ben Simmons just adds to that process. They have enough shooting in the lineup, particularly big shooters, like a guy like Christian Wood and Tate and Sengun and all these different guys that they would not have to give up in this trade. And they would be getting back Tyrese Maxey in the process, in theory, if they decide to ask for him. I think Houston makes the most sense. I've been saying that. I think it's the one that they ultimately will fall on. If I'm a betting man, that's the one that makes the most sense. But if Golden State comes around and realizing that Wiggins is just Wiggins, let's just keep it real. Wiggins is Wiggins. He's playing well, but he's still Wiggins. You would be wise to trade him for Ben Simmons. You would be very wise to trade him for Ben Simmons. And so yeah, that's what it comes down to. I didn't look at the Warriors as the best spot for Ben Simmons because of Draymond's presence. Still don't really love the fit because the thing is that Steph Curry is the orchestrator of that team, and you want him to have the ball in his hands as much as possible, and you would think he will, and if it becomes a tug of war, Ben Simmons is going to be on the move again. And that situation can be a headache, an unnecessary headache for the Golden State Warriors, I think, as to where for the Rockets it's less expectations. You don't have a Steph Curry and a Klay Thompson to try to win for. You understand what I'm saying? They have a timeline that makes a lot more sense for a guy like Ben Simmons to come in, develop, make his mistakes, and then too, they would probably have a much easier time trading him because of the fact that they have less important players around him, in theory. Do you understand what I'm saying? Than a Klay Thompson and a Steph Curry, of whom they cannot move if they have to attach players to get rid of him themselves. In theory, they'll have an easier time moving Ben Simmons if they have to than the Golden State Warriors. So, Wiggins is a contract that ain't bad right now. He's playing well. He fits what they do. It's all great. But at the end of the day, Ben Simmons' price is low, buddy. And Wiggins and Ben Simmons are not the same. And you definitely want Ben Simmons over Andrew Wiggins in most situations. Unless you have spacing issues, for which they may. you bring in Ben Simmons, and yes, your spacing is going to be affected by that. But I don't care, because I'm bringing in Ben Simmons, and I know what type of defensive player he is, and I know what we're going up against in the Western Conference. I know what we'll potentially have to see if we happen to get past the Lakers and run into those damn Brooklyn Nets. You're going to need more defenders than the Golden State Warriors currently have. And I'm going to tell you the truth. Ben Simmons and Jonathan Kuminga is crazy. The athleticism you're going to have at that power forward position with those two players on your roster, that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. The lobs, the dunks, it's a different dynamic than what Golden State is used to. And what I think it'll also do is take a lot of pressure off the shooters on that team. If you got Ben Simmons, Kuminga, Draymond, and those guys occupying most of the paint defensively, that's more energy for a guy like Klay Thompson and Steph Curry to just kind of roam around the perimeter and not really have to worry about doing some things that they're going to be tasked with doing this year. And the overwhelming depth that you have when you bring in Ben Simmons and keep all of these players that they have. Again, I like Andrew Wiggins, but he's not Ben Simmons. Your team overall gets better from a depth perspective just for bringing in that type of value in place of a guy like Wiggins. I'm telling you, Golden State, I didn't know you could trade him for Wiggins, bro. I'd have been screaming that. That should have been done already. The hell are you waiting for? Especially now. That should be done, about an hour. It should take about an hour for people to realize, we can trade him for Wiggins. Like, what are we talking about? And what has changed, why that hadn't been done, is because Golden State could demand so much more. Or rather, Philadelphia could demand so much more before this announcement. But now that the announcement's done, it's like, what are we waiting for? What is anybody waiting for? That price is super low. Philadelphia may be still trying to drive the price high. I guess they're prolonging the inevitable, which is they're going to have to give him up for pennies on the dollar, which also means that they're going to have to give up assets that represent what they're taking back. And that's just what it is. They don't, all this talk, as I said at the beginning of the video, all this talk about what Philly needs to give up. If they give up more, or rather, if they get back more than just the monetary value of what it is they're giving up, which is Ben Simmons' contract, then somebody on the other side messed up. Somebody didn't realize what was going on properly. Because I'm telling you, Philly ain't got no leverage. They already had very little leverage because nobody really wants to take on the contract of that player. But now that he came out and said he only wants to play in the Cali teams, what can Philly do in terms of saying, okay, I demand this from you, I demand that from you? The leverage is gone because the player doesn't want to be in the locker room, and that's understood by everyone around. And the other teams that are going to try to get this player, they're going to realize very quickly that he's not going to want to be there either. He wants to be in one of the 4 Cali teams. So that shrinks the market dramatically. That's what it does. It just makes it so that other people don't bid for this guy. That's a risk no one wants to take. You got to understand, you're matching value, so chances are you got to give up something you want to keep in order to make this happen. So why do I do that? What is the incentive? What is in it for me in helping you lose that contract of Ben Simmons? And that's the question. And if GMs aren't asking that question, they're about to pony up something that they have no business giving up. That's like paying, a PlayStation is what, $700? That's like paying $3,000 for a PlayStation, fam. No, we don't overpay for anything, and no, not if we know what we're doing. And I'm telling you, Ben Simmons' price tag is low, and but the contract is high. So that literally means that they got to pay the difference. Philly has to pay the difference because you can't turn the contract into a $10 million contract for 4 years. You understand what I'm saying? I gotta give you that value. So what the hell am I? What's in it for me? I don't want that player no more than you do. Give me your future. Give me 4 picks, all swaps. Like that's how I'm thinking. Because there's no incentive for me not to fleece them. Do you understand what I'm saying? If not for just the overall show of not wanting to be a jerk, but like it's business, man. I'm gonna make a decision that's best for me, whether it's to choose to do so or not. But the point is that leverage is mine. You see what I'm saying? So whatever these teams give Daryl Morey for Ben Simmons, you trust me. They don't have to give him half of that. If it ends up giving a situation where they give up a good player and a pick and all that, that was a favor. They don't have the leverage for that. The reality is, it's probably going to cost them about 3 picks to get rid of Ben Simmons if people doing what they're supposed to. And they ain't giving you nothing. Seriously. Unless it's for John Wall or for Andrew Wiggins or circumstances such as those. I think the Sacramento Kings maybe as well with Harrison Barnes. And I think the other player was either Buddy Yield, which I would ask for a pick if it's Yield. But for the other player, whoever that was, I don't think they have that type of cachet. As to which you'd match it up with Ben Simmons' lowered value. You see what I'm saying? Even though those guys' contracts match, they also don't have the type of value to make their contracts make sense for me to hold on to them. So their salary dumps too. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference. No picks there. I ain't got to give you no picks. So it's all about leverage, man, and understanding that. And I'm telling you, there are a lot of teams that don't understand this. They don't understand this, and they make decisions and do stupid trades and they give up stuff they don't need to give up. And that could be what's about to happen. But that ain't what should happen if people know what the hell they're doing. That's what I think. So, my name is BDF44, man. I thank y'all for watching. As more news comes, or as any news comes, because this ain't nothing new, I will bring it to you. Thank y'all for watching. I'm out.